Hello and welcome to this professional development presentation. Today we are going to be discussing how to use play-based instruction as an approach in the elementary level grades to improve academic achievement. This presentation is going to incorporate time for interactions with other teachers, as well as opportunities to reflect and discuss on some of the practices that will be highlighted in the coming slides. So let's get started. To introduce today's topic, we first must know what play-based instruction or play-based learning is. Play-based learning is an effective strategy that can be used to increase learning in all academic areas. This can be done through increasing motivation in students, incorporating student choice into the academic curriculum, and providing students with opportunities to build developmental and social skills in their learning. This style of learning does not imply that teachers allow students free play without instruction. Play-based learning is part of the theory of constructivism, which focuses on the student at the center of their learning experience. It does not suggest that teachers will let students have free control over their entire academics. Instead, teachers should incorporate opportunities for play directly into their lessons in order to provide experiences for students to take control of their learning. Play-based learning should be combined also with direct instruction as a way to further strengthen students' knowledge and understanding of important concepts. If students do not have an element of direct instruction, then they are not able to fully grasp the concepts they are being taught. In order to be most effective, both of these learning styles should be provided to students. Strategies that we are going to discuss next are focused more so on the play-based practices. However, it is important to keep in mind the need for both play and direct instruction within learning. The first area we are going to talk about is literacy. Literacy is without a doubt the most important part of a child's education, as it fuels their ability to learn in all other areas and subjects. One activity that can especially benefit learners through the use of play is differentiated phonics activities. In the early elementary grades, phonics is the key to being able to read and learn about other aspects of literacy. Providing students opportunities to find enjoyment in play-based phonics and literacy activities at an early age will set them on a pathway to enjoy reading. The guiding question for this activity is, how can we help our students to love reading so that when they struggle with it, they do not feel hopeless? In order to foster a love of reading in students, we must find an outlet that they can use to play with words and learn about letters and sounds in a way that is not entirely direct instruction centered. If we can first get students to enjoy literacy and reading, we can work with them through learning to read much more easily than we could if they did not first have the love of reading. The activities that we will be doing for this session of the professional development include 3 different stations. The first is exploring multisensory phonics and using materials to learn how to grow knowledge of phonics through things like shaving cream writing, building words with connector blocks, and writing in sand. There is a space for you to explore these different multisensory activities and learn how you can use them with your students. In Station 2, there is a variety of phonics games that are presented, which you can explore. There will also be time to discuss with your fellow teachers how these activities and others can be effective in the classroom or across different grade levels. Finally, the third station in this section of the professional development is for group discussion. In this section, you will discuss with other teachers your own ideas about play-based activities that you might have used in your classroom, or come up with new ideas that might be effective for your fostering of literacy skills for your students. This is an important time to learn from other teachers, as well as give your own thoughts about things that have been effective for you in your classroom. Each of these stations will have about 10 minutes to be completed, and then we will switch between groups, so overall this will take about 30 minutes. At the end of this section, there will also be a handout with a short recap of some of these skills and the activities that we have learned here today in this section of the professional development. Moving on, I hope you have found the literacy section of the professional development meeting today to be helpful. Our second activity that we are going to focus on is activities for play-based math. In mathematics, play-based activity can allow students to understand and practice foundational skills and participate in group work. In the activity today, we are going to browse again the different unique math opportunities that you can provide to students, and then have a discussion with other teachers about your thoughts on activities that might be engaging for students. The guiding question for this activity is, how can we use play-based math activities to eliminate some of the foundational issues students may have with knowledge of math concepts. In the section of the afternoon, you may explore each of these activities at your own pace with other teachers or individually, and discover which ones you feel would be most effective for your classroom. At the end of this half-hour section, we will come back as a group and have time to discuss with other teachers the things that you have learned from exploring these activities, as well as your other teachers' opinions on how these might be effective in the math classroom. Again, there will be a handout with some of the math activity ideas that you can use when you leave here today. Finally, our last section of our professional development today deals with social and emotional development in regards to play-based learning. Because of many factors relating to our education systems today, including reliance on technology and the increase in technology use in the classroom, as well as the effects of the coronavirus pandemic on education, students of this generation have experienced significantly less time outside with peers or in social settings, building up social and emotional skills. As a result of this, it is our job as teachers and leaders and schools to help promote social and emotional development in our students. This is more important now than ever because of these barriers that the students face. The guiding question for this activity is, what are some of the problems you encounter in regards to social and emotional development of students today, and how can you use play to help combat some of these issues? In this section of our afternoon, there are no activities to explore. However, you should meet with a group of other teachers and discuss with your small group your experiences regarding the effects of the coronavirus on your school, as well as the balance of instruction with time for play and how that affects your classroom. It is important to discuss this with other teachers to see their perspectives, as well as to create solutions to some of the problems that are common between you and other classrooms that might be in your school or in other schools. After discussing how these problems have affected your school, come up with some ideas or solutions on how to incorporate social and emotional development into your classroom curriculums and into your school day in order to help combat some of these big issues that students are currently facing. The handout that is going home with you today will explain some of the ideas that you can use to incorporate into your classrooms when thinking about social and emotional development for students. Finally, to conclude, it is important to remember that play-based learning can allow students the opportunity to build motivation and enjoyment for learning, which is a huge part of our job as teachers. It is critical at the younger elementary grades to foster a love for learning in students so that when they experience difficulties with it, it is much easier to work through with them because of their love of learning. Play-based activities, while combined with direct instruction, can help students be able to take control of their own learning, as well as find fun in learning and develop a deeper understanding of the instruction that is being presented to them. Providing students these opportunities is significantly important to helping them get on a pathway to success, both academically as well as developmentally. Thank you so much for coming to this professional development today. I hope you have learned a lot that you can use in your classroom and with your students to help them achieve success.